SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good morning, dear friends. Today we are going to discuss on humanism from different angles, from different perspectives, and as we know that it is always difficult for a person, or it is always difficult for a fellow to explain a particular thing. No doubt we are quite familiar about that particular thing or particular term, or we are quite have the ideas about that thing, but when it's a time to explain that term, it theoretically it quite becomes a little bit difficult for a fellow or difficult for a person. So dear friend, in this discussion I would like to explain the term humanism from various ways, various possible ways, and it explains the various possible ways, various angles, various perspectives of what humanism is. So for better and clearer comprehension of this term humanism, I think that it is quite necessary to look or to check the various definitions that are given in various dictionaries, just like Collins Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, the Little Oxford Dictionary, or what is there written about the term humanism in Thesaurus or in Encyclopedia, or for better understanding of this term, I think it is quite necessary to go through the history. We must check the history about the origin, the development, and the relevance of this term humanism in the present scenario. So let us, we have various definitions. There is a list of various definitions that are given by various dictionaries and encyclopedia and thesaurus, and also we have quoted certain lines from history. So dear students, we have certain definitions, so you may have look at the script. So according to Collins Dictionary, humanism is the rejection of religion. So the rejection of religion in favor of the advancement of humanity by its own efforts. So this first definition makes it clear that, it clearly states that humanism is the rejection of religion. So it clearly shows that humanism has nothing to do with religion. It clearly rejects religion, rituals, scriptures, or various ceremonies or practices which are made or done by the religious leaders. So in short, we may say that it appears to reject religion. For what? That we can read here that for in favor of the advancement of humanity by its own efforts. So here we can find that the major concern, the major thing that is given important in this definition is humanity, that it's the rejection of religion for the favor of the advancement, for the development, for the growth of humanity by its own efforts. So here we can see that the importance is given to humanity instead of religion or religious practices or rituals or the holy path, or what we may say the false practices done by the fixed traditional cult or path or ways. The next look at the next definition that is given here, that Oxford Dictionary and Thesaurus take the view that humanism is an outlook. It's an outlook or system of thought that concerned with human rather than divine or supernatural matter. So once again, we can find the same thing that is written, that is quoted in Oxford dictionaries and in Thesaurus, that humanism is an outlook. It's a way of looking at the people, it's a way of looking at the thing, or we may say that it's a system of thought, it's a system of ideas that is concerned only with human being, with people, with man, rather than divine or supernatural matter. What we may say that supernatural elements, that God or goddesses or ghost or any divinity, that we may have the ideas that the divine power or divine spirit will come and he will save us. So humanism doesn't agree with it and in concern with human rather than divine or supernatural matters. So both the definition, the emphasis is given to the human being or man rather than divinity or religion or rituals or scriptures or any supernatural matters. Now look at the next definition, that we may have the ideas from the Little Oxford Dictionary. So we can see that the Little Oxford Dictionary considered humanism as a non-religious theory or philosophy which is completely based on liberal human values. So here we can see that, we can find that humanism is a non-religious theory or philosophy which is completely based on liberal human values. So the word non-religious philosophy or non-religious ideas, that is an important thing that we can find in this definition. There's something new that we can observe in this definition is the word liberal human values. So the liberal human values means love, dignity, status, potentiality, growth, development, freedom, love for nature, love for literature, love for tradition. So these are the human values that we may say that these are the all universal values. So here in short we can say that it's a system of thought or it's a mode of thinking or mode of way to take action in which human interest, human values, dignity, growth, development, progress are to be of primary importance rather than God, goddesses or human or supernatural elements. So worshipping of God or devotion to God is not given preference in this definition. So in short we may say that it's a theory or a doctrine or philosophy that appeals that it's people's duty to promote human welfare, human development or universal welfare. So from this definition we come to know that it is the duty of a person, it is a duty of human being to do or to promote the welfare of human being, welfare of human society, and it is a duty of human being to do something for the universal welfare. So it spreads the message of the welfare of the universe, the welfare of the whole human being, or what we may say that the welfare of whole human society. It also emphasizes on the fact that we have the human being have the spirit. He has the developmental spirit. He has the potentiality for the development of human being, for the development of human society. So historically we may say that humanism was a Renaissance doctrine which was born in 14th century Italy. So before to move towards the deep understanding and the common futures of humanism, it is quite necessary for us to move towards the history. What the history says about the term humanism, its origin, its development, and its relevant as far as the present century or the present period. So we may say that humanism was a Renaissance doctrine which was born in 14th century Italy. Moreover, it stressed the essential worth, that dignity and potential of man as contrasted with the older views that man is wicked, worthless, useless, or doomed to destruction, both in this life and also that the life that to come. So that's this Renaissance humanist differs from those people who believed that man is a useless fellow. He has nothing to do with development and progress of the society. It differs from the views, older views, that man is merely a puppet in the hands of God. It differs from the view that man is completely dependent on the fate or chance or God or a divinity or the supreme divine power. But they developed, the Renaissance humanist developed quite a new theory, quite a new philosophy, or quite a new ideas that man has that potentiality, he has that dignity, he has that power to change the world. He can live happy life. He has the capacity. He himself is the power who is able to live the happy life. So this Renaissance humanist gives important to human being rather than the divinity or God, or what we may say that the supernatural elements. We may say that Renaissance humanist derived these beliefs, these people derived these beliefs from the study of ancient poets, the ancient literature, the histories, the philosophers who believed that man is indeed at the center of universe. After all, man is at the center and that he is capable of living the life with happiness. So, with this Renaissance humanistic theory, we come to the conclusion that they believe that it's a man-centered theory instead of God. So man is at the center, not God. It's a man-oriented theory instead of God. So devotion to God or devotion to God is completely rejected. The various religious ceremony, the various practices of religious practices are rejected in this concept of humanism. But the devotion to man, devotion for the solution of the problems of man, the love for man, sympathy for man, empathy for man, these are the points which are given importance in this theory. So we may say that humanism involves devotion at any time. Humanism involves devotion at any time. So in this way we may say that from present to the literature of ancient Greece and Rome, we may say that it ranges from Petrarch, Thomas More, Erasmus, and Sir Philip Sidney to that of Shakespeare or Milton and Goethe. We may also add Chaucer, Geoffrey Chaucer, then Wordsworth, and the Hindi saint poet Kabir. That the essential features of humanism that we can see in the literature of all these writers. The essence of humanism that we can find in the literature of all these writers. So it is not fixed, it is not conformed with a particular era or particular time or particular age, but we may say that it ranges, it has wide ranges from ancient Greece and Rome to the present modern era. That we may add that Kabir and Chaucer, in the literature of Chaucer, Wordsworth and Kabir, we can find the humanistic concern. So after the deep study and understanding of various definitions and the study of history, we come to the conclusion that